Because to be real, they didn't even try. Once the lesser charge was removed, they came back an hour later and said it was deadlock. Less than an hour and 20 minutes later, they said not guilty. These wonderful white people, I hope they celebrate their Christmas while the Neely family is praying and asking God for comfort. Goddamn them and goddamn America.
All right. Welcome once again to the Beatzilla PDX official show. I'm your host, Beatzilla PDX officially. And this is a news break. And man, we of course have something to talk about, which is societal indictments. Another installment. The American Vigilante culture. Hashtag Daniel Penny. So, of course, what we are going to be talking about is the case of Daniel Penny deleting our brother Jordan Neely in the New York subway back in May. And now the trial is concluded. It went the way that a lot of people thought it probably would. However, definitely doesn't make it right. So what was expected was a miscarriage of justice. And why I say why it was expected is because a lot of us, especially over here in the grassroots and the new black media, we understand that Derek Chauvin and Amber Geiger and a few others, those feel like L's to the supremacist side of things. And, you know, just within this story, there are quite a few throwbacks to the same old. Matter of fact, it reminds me of the one lady who actually got her whole case wiped from the records, who deleted the brother on the freeway. I cannot think of that brother's name right off the rip. I think her name was what, Betty Shelby? And she doesn't even have the fact on her record that she deleted this man. They had the helicopter. He was actually stopped in traffic. Y'all remember? He was stopped in traffic and needed help. And for some reason, they went up there with guns drawn and shot this man. And then all walked in formation directly back after the shots, blocking their own cams. However, the camera from the helicopter still caught it all because they were still there. So, and you can't just delete that footage. So, you know, yeah, we've seen these type of things. And we've seen how they've been celebrated. Those people got off. But for leading up into the George Floyd situation and Botham Jean, now you're starting to see prosecutions of police doing time. You have Ahmaud Arbery and the McMichaels catching a federal hate charge and a state. I'm not sure if they got the state hate charge. Probably not. But the federal hate charge. People are looking at Jordan Neely as one big Negro representing all of that. And so I think that's one thing we have to understand is they're like, this is a win. Even if he was 140 pounds, they were terrified of him. No, they weren't. And looking at, you know, there's videos out here showing a lot of the mental illness crash outs on the subway. People see this every day, but people are not being harmed every day. And truth be told, I'm sure this is the safe probably to say in most areas when it comes down to the homeless population. Your homeless are your most vulnerable, especially your homeless women. There's a lot of vulnerable people out there that are harmed often, but because they're on the realm of the forgotten, nobody's making no police reports. Nobody's calling. Family, we had a whole situation here. My partner literally put the cops on to a whole case by way of him getting his content, ended up breaking a damn serial killer case. Literally. And this dude, I mean, the bodies on this guy that's connected, this guy just keeps piling up. And the way he did it, it was nuts. But man, I'm telling you, you know, it's these vigilantes, not sorry, I can't call them vigilantes. These killers. They come in all shapes and sizes, man. And these people, there's a nature there, obviously. Because just like the dude that's here with the whole serial killer thing, this type of thing, he's around the homeless, and he just picked out a bunch of homeless women to target. Now, those people are extremely vulnerable. And so when you get down to the mental illness part of it, add mental illness, of course, a lot of drugs are going to be around homeless. You could see it here. There's fentanyl camps here. So that's, something you're going to see often. And so they're looking at the forgotten as being the scary terror. There's more harm that comes to the homeless than ever comes to your average New York City subway rider. What's really crazy in this instance, and I'll double back to what my point is, but in this instance, Jordan Neely couldn't get the resources to help him out of his circumstance in a city that calls itself a sanctuary city and giving buku bucks and feeding illegal aliens and housing them and giving them stipends. And they're able to do all of that. And Jordan Neely is hungry and thirsty and gets choked to death for it. And so they're looking at this guy, like I said, is one big Negro. And everybody is getting out here. Well, yeah, there's crazy homeless out here all the time. I live in Portland, Oregon, and I see crazy fentanyl people every day, with the exception of since this verdict has came out. I have not actually seen anybody, but we see the crazy flip out thing every day, and people can say, yeah, it kind of makes you nervous. I know people that will drive to and fro because they don't want to take public transit because of it. But nobody has said, I feel in such harm's way that, or in such danger that, I feel I need to raise up and do something. And realistically, we had a situation here. Y'all remember, what's that dude's name? Christensen? Is it Hayden? Hayden Christensen? Went and deleted the two white guys on the bus. He was actually doing some racist stuff towards one of my little relatives and her friend. And this other cat jumps in, the Micah guy. He jumps in to intervene, and him and the other two men, they tried to intervene and stop this ruckus. Dude pulls out, and Jeremy Christians, that's what it is, Jeremy Christian. They pull Hayden Christian, that's Anakin Skywalker. He pulls a knife out on him and stabs actually he cuts all three, but two of them didn't make it, and he's now doing life. And he's the guy that you might remember from he's like holding a flag, one of these like Proud Boy rallies that they had here back in the day. And so there's a crazy guy. He's a guy that was actually crazy, and he was on a train here, and people intervened. Why? Because he was actually aggressively and racially attacking someone, not just making noise and yelling, and that's something you can see any day. And at the end of the day, you can get off the train. That train is stopping and starting, and people staying on there. And so, yeah, it just, none of that makes sense. I just look at it as, oh, well, this is an opportunity for him to use the old trope of scary black guy. And it's a convenient excuse because he's homeless and he's a crackhead, as he said. And I see it, people are, oh, well, that's not racial. Please. It's very much racial. Because at the end of the day, with Daniel Penny, even as much as he's saying he was looking to calm the situation, who comes up behind somebody without saying anything? Typically speaking, you have and I could say this even here in this city. If something was like that, something was happening like that, you know how fast white folks want to intervene? And not by choking him out. I could see it just as plain as day here. They'd be, hey, stop it, knock it off. That's what you would get. Jordan Neely would be like, hey, man, knock it off. People are trying to enjoy the ride. I can easily hear it. Now, some people might just sit there and be quiet. And I'm sure for the New Yorkers, they're like, yeah, we just mind our business because that's the way New Yorkers are. But again, somebody like Jeremy Christian, who's actually actively attacking someone and then pulls out a weapon, now that is worthy. Those people are heroes because they are literally stepping in, saving a life. This is not that. And, isn't there, there's other incidents that happen on the subway over the years. One that comes to mind is the I believe he was Jamaican. Back in the, was it 90? He ran up on the train and started bucking, took down a few white folks on the train. See, a lot of these things never leave their mind, and they're like, man, we want some get back. So, there's something to why you seeing them all celebrate. They are real, oh man, we got him. Right. You sure did. You guys, you got it and he got away. I hope Jordan Neely's family sues for everything that they can get. Because if Nicole Brown Simpson's family and Ron Goldman's family can sue OJ, then the Neelys need to be able to sue Daniel Penny, the state of New York, the subway system, and realistically, especially the city of New York. On this, in the state of New York for that matter, because here's the point, even after he was his demise, think of the statements from the governor and the mayor. Actions have consequences. Behavior, no, he can't, because you can't even call it actions. Behaviors have consequences. What the hell does that even mean? Behaviors have consequences? You're talking about adults, not children. Behaviors. What? That is That is insane. So there are some clips I want to play. And then, I got some more to say, but this is ridiculous. I played the first one. I'm gonna play a little bit of this is Hawk beforehand or after the verdict. This is the brother Hawk out there in New York. He is a long-standing activist out there in New York City. And they keep calling him Black Lives Matter. To last I checked, he doesn't have nothing to do with Black Lives Matter. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't believe he's Black Lives Matter. I just believe this is just the Black community coming forward. And there is no like George Soros organization or front around here. And so I hope they understand when they keep trying to push that Black Lives Matter narrative out there. No, it's just Black America. That's all it is. So let's hear from Hawk.
We need some black vigilantes.
That's right.
People want to jump up and choke us and kill us for being loud. How about we do the same when they attempt to oppress us?
Right.
I'm tired.
Tired.
I dig it. I can dig it for sure. The one thing about all of this is, with these two guys right here, what's the difference in all actuality? They'll say, well, Daniel Penny was a hero because he stopped Jordan Neely's ranting. How many people have been annoyed before? Now they're saying, hey, if there's this person's an annoyance, you can come from behind and choke them. And that makes sense. That's what you're hearing. Everybody co-sign. But, okay. So his perception of danger is in his own belief system, and obviously those who think like him, which obviously was the jury. Here's the other guy, though. Who's to say people out here don't agree with him? Who's to say? Well, actually, we've seen quite a few people out here actually do agree with him. And understanding the greed of the healthcare system, it's a different danger in a different kind of manner. But obviously, people are acting in these ways. And if you go listen, especially listen to the broadcast of The View. I don't have that sound ready. You know what? Maybe I can play that audio. The way they are talking about this guy, he was so promising. He had a promising future. People like this help shape the future. People, this is amazing. Hold on, let me see. Let me get this in here. Okay, there's a commercial there. But I just was listening to this little clip earlier. I'm like, man, they are really trying to this dude up. This dude now put a silencer or a suppressor on a weapon and went and smoked this dude. Now listen to this.
Of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. The suspect came from a wealthy family, was a high school valedictorian, college student who graduated with a master's degree in engineering. Now, he's being held without bail. He hasn't entered a plea yet, but a lot of people seem to be surprised that this is the guy that did this. I'm not sure why people are surprised, but are y'all surprised?
I think it's a reminder that criminals or people who do harm don't fit into any one box. I think we're so quick to stereotype people. You expect a certain socioeconomic level or a certain education background. The thing
Both of those things she just mentioned mean black people.
say is this is listen, first and foremost, the tragedy is that this man who's a husband, a father, a son was killed. It's also a tragedy that an incredibly promising 26-year-old man went so astray that he committed this heinous crime. And
What? What? It's a tragedy that this man that you saw sneak up behind a man with a pistol and air him out. It's a tragedy. What? No, I think it's a good thing that he has been apprehended and he needs to be punished to the extent of the law. I mean, we've already heard he was a valedictorian and he is a great student and he went to MIT and he went, come on, man. The Ivy League kid. Okay. No, he's a killer. And we saw him smoke somebody on camera. Okay? That's what you need to be focused in on. Matter of fact, we're not even hearing any talk about guns. We're talking about what happened. And it's a tragedy that this promising young man did this. No talk about guns, though. Man, we gotta discuss this problem and situation we got with guns, man.
Listen, I'm going to defer to the authorities, but they sort of alluded to, he might be this big healthcare crusader of some sort. That may be the case. He did seem to have a manifesto, but this is someone who is a high.
He did have a manifesto. Let's just walk past that, though. Hey, lady, and folks out there listening right now, just a quick question. In all of the superhero movies and supervillain movies, which major supervillain comes from the ghetto? Oh, I'll help you. None. They're all rich white men. All on the very, very upper echelon on richness, by the way. So he comes from a well-to-do family, and he had a manifesto about his plans. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to find this doctor. But she's still trying to find a way to make this guy. It's such a tragedy. He was such a promising young man. Promising to do what? Shoot more people?
Functioning, high-performing person who people only really had good things to say about.
He's also a pretty good shot.
Until about 6 months ago, it sounds like he basically disappeared. His family wasn't in touch with him. To me, it symbolizes more likely there was some kind of a mental health break.
You don't say. It was a mental health break. Okay.
And that he may have acted in an extreme way because he wasn't treating something that came on suddenly.
He wrote a manifesto, so his manifesto obviously doesn't indicate that he's insane. So I don't know why you would be interjecting that, because they haven't. He's charged with straight up murder. And he spoke when he got arrested. And he's fighting extradition. He's may not be thinking how you think he should think. But as far as what he believes in his mind, it's still based on everything else we're seeing is real. It's just his position. And you can't seem to accept it is for what it is, ma'am.
Speculation. But that's what I sort of suspect from the facts.
Of course, Ted Cruz has to politicize it and say that it's a left-wing thing. I mean, I think it was the second attempted assassination on Trump was a kid who was a registered Republican who also voted for Biden and had a lot of left-wing stuff on his social media.
Yeah, and also the other funny thing about that, would-be assassin is that not only did he vote for Trump, but he also had a little manifesto, or vote for Joe Biden rather, but he also had a manifesto. These people are not crazy.
Yeah. But I don't think that this is, as you say, it's not a political issue. And why does Ted Cruz insist on dividing Americans even further? Is my
What?
question to him. Another point. These ghost guns are up for discussion at the Supreme Court right now. So let it.
Joy Behar don't even want to talk about this guy. Y'all seeing this? Y'all hearing this? She doesn't even want to talk about this guy.
Hope that they do the right things because, let me say, they do not have serial numbers.
No, they're ghost guns.
Yes, they are sold online as do-it-yourself kits. What type of country are we living in?
Yeah.
That some nutcase can get a gun that has no serial number that he can make.
Well, wait. He's not a nutcase, though, is he? Because the other woman just called him high functioning. So is he a nut or is he high functioning? I'm confused. But now we're talking about ghost guns. Where is this conversation going?
Same way that he can text me? Come on. Yeah. Well, I think that the Supreme Court is about to do it, to rule on this because Biden has a whole thing going on to control this. Wait, let me just say that. But I'm hoping that Roberts and Barrett will go with the.
Oh, Lord. Oh, let's hear Sonny. Let's hear Sonny.
So promising would do something like this. There's some indication that he was also suffering from chronic back pain, like severe chronic back pain. And so
hasn't.
So
Everyone has back pain.
yeah, so we're not.
Back pain. Man, let me go get this gat. Ooh, my back is hurting, boy. Man, I can't get the meds I need. Let me run down here to this spot, man. I'll show them what's up. Are you kidding? What? The man took up arms, went and with the mask on, went through all the trouble to plan this dude's demise. And y'all are doing the most on The View right now. This is crazy. They are literally trying to clean this guy's image up while he's charged with murder. What made him turn?
Why this happened, but we do know the instrumentality that was used, and it was a ghost gun that can be printed on your computer. And I think what is so frustrating to me is that you have all these lobbyists lobbying and saying that this is not a firearm. It obviously is a firearm because a man was killed using one of them.
Yeah.
And it is going to.
That hasn't necessarily been proven yet either. But it's very interesting how the conversation on The View it's been mostly talking about ghost guns. They've went away from they've talked positive about this guy. It's funny. They talk positive about this guy. You watch him gun a dude down. Jordan Neely was having a mental crisis, and people are celebrating his death. So remember the voices and the people of the media and how they are also spinning it. They are. It's like how and here in my local news, and the local news here is on a blackout of showing white criminals because all the elements and crimes that you hear of every day here are done by white people. So what they do is they wait until they finally have a black person that they can put on TV, and then they'll run the picture. But if I'm talking about we aren't seeing the pictures of people who are being convicted of crimes. You understand me? Oh, yeah, he's getting 15 years. He's about to do 20 years. He's about to do 17 years. And we don't see their faces. Black person, oh, well, this is the suspect in this. This other person done been found guilty and sentenced, and we still don't know what they look like. But here's this black woman just this morning. Some woman looked like she was going through some issues and shot her neighbor, shot a 15-year-old neighbor. And before they're cold with it here. They're running her little clip as the lead in going out into commercial break. So not even dropping her story, but making sure that that's one of the lead ins coming and going on and off from commercial. You seeing this black woman's face. And we're going to talk about this case that happened over here, and she's been arraigned and blah, blah, blah. They got her face just proud as, oh man, I was like, come on. And the name, I knew when I first heard the name, I was like, oh, okay. I guess we'll be seeing her picture. And by this morning, lo and behold, there she is. Remember how they did Daniel Penny? They let him go. No problems for you, buddy. You're good to go, man. Enjoy life. Because you just took one. Go have a beer on us. Celebrate. You're a hero, dude. You defended the innocent people and bystanders there. And let me tell you something, family. Fox News, that man that helped Daniel Penny is not a black man. He's a damn Latino. He's a Hispanic. He ain't got nothing to do with us. So he's a melanated Hispanic, not a black man. Big difference. And not that they don't know that. Of course they know. But yeah, I just wanted to play you that little quick clip from the View over here. He's an Ivy League student, and Daniel Penny is the hero, and this guy, he's the former Ivy League student, straight A. He's really smart. He's supposed to be one of the bright ones and help rearrange and bring our country back from the brink of extinction. I mean, the most they are doing with this guy is incredible. Hey, this dude took up arms and gunned down an innocent man. Well, I don't know what he's guilty of. You can find maybe he's guilty of what you thought he did. However, the man was unarmed and you did him in from behind. So in both cases, this is cases of vigilante justice. And now all it is a matter of perception. But this is the societal indictment that is being made here. In any event, what you want the message going out to America is that white men, depending on how they feel, can go choke someone out because they, in the name of public safety, when there's literally no one being touched. You have a conviction based on white fright. In 2024, under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and their Justice Department and their hand-picked DAs and their hand-picked judges. And no one's talking about fascism now. Where is the fascism? Where is they'll be able to do this with impunity? That man has not taken office yet. What are we talking about impunity? Daniel Penny, anyone? See, what are we talking about? Daniel Penny is not a police officer. He's just simply some guy. And what we have now witnessed is New York State and the Democratic Party all the way up to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris deputize regular white America for anti-blackness. And so You know, and people gonna have to take heed to what the brother
We
said.
need some black vigilantes.
That's right.
People want to jump up and choke us and kill us for being loud. How about we do the same when they attempt to oppress us?
Right.
I'm tired.
Tired.
Man, and some of y'all maybe, I'm sure there might be some haters watching this right now. Oh man, you know, man, he wasn't lynched in this and that. You making it racial. Man, let me tell you something. The look on these people's faces and their glee, and you can see all the posts. Don't tell me it ain't racial, and don't tell me that this dude ain't a racist.
How you feeling?
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
He's feeling good. He's feeling good. He's feeling good.
What's up?
We're
Come together.
Yeah.
How's it going? How's it feel?
Feels great. He's finally got the justice he's deserved.
Did you think it was going to happen?
Sorry? No, we think that this should have happened probably on day one, but the point thing is it happened. So we can't control the timing of it, but we can certainly savor the outcome.
And why do you think it was not guilty?
That's
Instead
good.
of
That's that guy.
Well, he's not guilty on a few different reasons. Because his actions were justified. He was trying to help people on that train, and he did. And number two, he's not responsible for the death because the death was caused by a lot of other factors that we tried to present with a lot of clarity, such as the K2 abuse and the sickling crisis, and cardiac issues, not to mention the paranoid schizophrenia, which only added to that impact. So I'm just glad that the jury was able to truly evaluate that as a potential cause of death, and that Danny was justified in the actions that he took.
First off, and pretty sure this video won't be monetized anyway, so I'll say this. Hey, dipshit. That's not how sickle cell works, doofus. And if you had anybody in there saying that was the case, that's not how it works. If he was having a sickle cell crisis, number one, he would not be in there talking about what he is. He would be over in the corner, laying up in absolute pain from head to toe. And actually, somebody would have probably had to have called the ambulance to come get him if he was that far gone in a crisis, especially being dehydrated and starving. The brother had a muffin in his pocket. A muffin. We talk about Trayvon Martin with Skittles and tea. This brother had a muffin. What are you going to associate with a blueberry muffin? Oh man, I'm terrified. The blueberries. Oh man, I heard that blueberries can kill you if they hit you the right way. I mean, what are we talking about? Man, he did the right thing by going behind a man because people were scared. We are literally, are you hearing these people justify Black death because of white fright? Y'all better be staying. When man, you understand me? I always tell y'all, stay vigilant. Because this is the type of time they are on. And I hope that you respond accordingly. You know, make sure that you're not no victim. Don't be the soft target. Because we see what both of these guys did. They both came behind their victims as cowards, like Daniel Penny. And so things are kicking up in New York, and the activists of New York are coming out. I think if you start seeing a bunch of Black Lives Matter protests, just know that's not Black America. So they can't put it on. And I think already they know Black America ain't having it. We're not having all of that no more. So y'all go to your community and start working on that anti-Blackness in your community. Hear this message from this good sister right
Went to this trial. I watched the white people. I watched the non-Black POCs all say they were scared of Jordan. But the Black man testified that he was not. So we got a problem. So all the white people here, y'all got work to do. Stay the fuck out of black people business. Go in your neighborhood and do the anti-blackness work in there. I don't need your opinion. I don't need no Marxist bullshit. Okay. I can read black Marxism on my own. Y'all been reading 275 years in English before we was. Right. Go in your own communities and correct this bullshit. And stay out of our fucking business. Thank you. Because the white people on that jury didn't give a fuck about what they heard on the stand. Jordan Neely approached no one. Daniel Penny dropped him where he stood. They made those witnesses draw on a diagram when he got dropped. It was right after he entered that train car. I sat right there and listened to it. So white people, y'all got work to do. Yeah. You better deal with your mothers, your fathers, your brothers, your sisters, your college professors, your bank lenders, your car loaners, all that. Stay the fuck.
What's his name? Jordan Neely. Say his name. Jordan Neely. What's his name? Jordan Neely.
Yeah, shout out to that sister, and she has a great point. So we do not condone all of that looting and all of that madness, because that's unnecessary and that is not doing anything. Our economy is at a all-time low as it is. So I don't think that's why you already know they see, black folks ain't really turning up, because black folks know. Again, what you did was put Black America on notice not to be an easy target. And now that we know what the Democrats are, because this, again, we don't need to talk about no Donald Trump. None of this has anything to do with Donald Trump. This is all complete Democrat debacle. So what are Democrats going to do going forward, examining situations like this that happened under their leadership? What are we going to do about that? Black Democrats, what on earth are we going to do about that? And again, white America, let me ask you, the American vigilantes that you see on your screen both had a particular mindset about how they perceive danger. What about Daniel Penny is different from Luigi? If they both found the problem, they both neutralized the problem or threat as they saw it, and they executed their move from behind. What separates these two? Is it just based on your perception of what they think? What makes them different? What makes them not the same? What makes one vigilante better or good and a hero, and what makes the other vigilante not a hero? Jordan Neely was on a subway to where no one knew his criminal background. So bringing up his criminal background is irrelevant because nobody knew it. Then seeing how he actively threatened no one and he never even laid a finger on anyone, I don't see, in all reality of logic, how anybody could say that this man choking him for 6 minutes didn't kill him. And then they're going into where we also proved to the jury that it could have been drugs, and it could have been this, and it could have been that. After you choke a man out in a blood choke for 6 minutes, when it would take you about 20 seconds to render somebody in that hold unconscious. What are you looking to do? And after the doors open, who then was in danger other than Jordan Neely? once those doors open and everybody could get off of that train, who else was in danger that he needed to hold this guy for what it looks like a whole nother damn stop? Because if you recognize the African dude on the scene, he's not originally there. So that means that they had made a stop. And then they were getting on. So how afraid were the other people after they get on the train seeing somebody get choked out? They don't even know the circumstance. But they felt so comfortable because it's just another day in New York. So how on earth are in between the people mingling in and out of these carts or cars? How is there so much terror of Jordan Neely to the point to where you had to choke him out of this world? That makes no sense. It's not going to make any sense. And anybody trying to justify that should be dropped in a volcano. Let's hear from the fans.
Burn down parts of the city, cars, whatnot. Let's watch. They're angry over Daniel Pitty being found not guilty.
To do it for us. And clearly, if we get to this point, it's too late. We have to be there for each other, and that's our call to action. Everybody that's pissed off at this verdict, I challenge you to go outside today and help one person.
Help.
That's my challenge.
Help.
If you're angry, if you're hurt, go help one person. That's how we beat the system. That's how we turn this around, by being there for each other.
There you go.
I just want to say.
Okay. See, let me tell you something, man. They tried to start it and set it up. They're talking about burning houses and they need to do this. What Hawk said is we need our own black vigilantes. Why? Because he spoke of self-defense. If you think that you can choke us from behind, black folks need to step up and stand in. Don't let nobody choke your people out. And unfortunately, Jordan Neely was on a train with none of his people. A bunch of damn foreigners who probably shouldn't be here. So, how the immigration work out for Jordan Neely? Got these cats that won't sit up there and lift the finger. They're over here helping the white guy choke this brother out. Oh, well, he needed to be subdued. No, he didn't. How often do you see people getting rear naked choked on the subway? But there's crazy people on the subway every damn day. And they're not getting killed. So what's up with this? No, well, he's a hero. No, he's not. And they're deputizing fright. This is under the same. Okay, bottom line. Jordan Neely was lynched and without a rope. Didn't need a rope. This guy went barbaric with it and did it with his hands. But that's a lynching nonetheless of an innocent black man. Where the hell is Joe Biden's DOJ? Where they said, oh, well, it's just, they could have prosecuted, brought charges here. But there's nothing. Where's this? If you're going to tout a Emmett Till lynching bill, will you show us where you're actually using it? Because we're not getting that response. That's the crazy thing here. You talk about laws that you never prosecute people with and for, but we watch Jordan Neely get lynched. No, he's not hanging from a tree. He was choked down on the ground in a subway. A lynching nonetheless. And if you're not willing to be honest about that, then you're a POS.
I miss my son. My son didn't have to go through this. I didn't have to go through this either.
Not at all.
It hurts. really, really hurts. What are we going to do, people? What's going to happen to us now? I had enough of this. System is rigged. Come on, people. Let's do something about this.
Let's do something about it. Too often, we have Eric Garner's mother here.
And I'll stop that there. And do something. Do something means advocate for your own. We are all we have. And I hope that the more of us start understanding it. Because the point of today's broadcast is a societal indictment on America and their tie and love and history of anti-Black violence, masked and cloaked in something else and not calling it what it is. And yet, once again, we are here with another lynching of another Black man under a Democratic president, Democrat vice president who just lost her run for president. And all of these congressional Black caucus people who are worried about preventing illegals from being mass deported, but have no care in the world for the Jordan Neelys of America. And all of the other media outlets and apparatuses publicizing the fact and gleefully happy, gleeful joy in the fact that they have been able to legally justify Black death by white fright. The big Black boogeyman strikes again. And here it is. Like Jordan Neely must be John Henry. If y'all who too young to know who John Henry is, I guess you could call him, for instance, a larger Green Mile. Said that man drove railroad track pins by himself and died beating the machine. That's how the lore goes of John Henry, if you guys didn't know. Black American folklore, nonetheless. Actually, I wouldn't doubt if it was true, because again, we come from a very rich history, and obviously there's certain things that tie back to our origins, which most people want to say, well, that's Africa. Oh man, that's this, that's Single, that's Congo, that's Ghana, that's Nigeria. No, it's not. None of y'all got our swag. None of y'all got our flair. Soul does not dissipate through time. Soul transcends through time, meaning I'm born of the seasoning. I'm born out of pot. We come out of pot liquor. And some of y'all come from G to P. But what y'all need to understand is here, there are a lot of people that are concerned about their futures here, while we have focused on our true issue. There was a lot of y'all saying, man, you always begging you white people for something. Man, you white people ain't getting none of your racism. Oh, no, man. Well, no, and in those instances, just please know that the grassroots and new Black media over here, this is how we see you.
Buck dancing, shuffling, scratching, boot
And at the end of the day, for those who don't think Daniel Penny did this as a cowardly anti-black racist, So with that being said, I just wanted to go ahead and give my 2 cents on this particular topic because it's the topic of the hour, of the day. There's been no justice served here. And all it is a societal indictment of these people still using fright and fear as a way to excuse themselves for harming Black America. The Democrats ain't shit. And for that regard, neither are the Republicans. But Trump is nowhere near the White House right now, and this is not his DOJ. So we have to now give a true examination on the Democrats' treatment to Black America over the last 4 years. And I mean a rundown from the top all the way through the caucus. Because we know all them other folks are all about themselves. Now, one of the other things that Trump is trying to instill in here is term limits in the House of Representatives and the Senate. Now, with that, I'm all for that. Why shouldn't there be term limits? Because here's the problem. We have musical chairs on the president races based on these folks who've been sitting in office for 40 years. And that has to change. Because that's not real. That is people playing with people's lives like they are baby dolls. And we are not toys, folks. We are real human beings. And as far as us foundational Black American freedmen, the descendants of American chattel slavery, the people who have the status of freedmen, whom the 14th Amendment was designated and designed for, those people, there will be people who say, hey, man, what about people of color? And we can all tell you that is against Black empowerment. And so with that, I'm going to play this last clip and we're going to get on out of here.
Good evening, Dr. Clark. I really would like you to tell me what's the best way to handle an African American that gets in the way of the liberation of African Americans. I believe in this unity, and I'd love to love all of them, embrace them. Please tell me how to do it strategically.
Put space between you. Don't try to reform him. Give him the information, hope that he will use it. If he don't use it, then don't waste time letting him obstruct the movement. People who don't believe in themselves can't believe in you and can't help you. It's heartbreaking to know that there are some of us we have to write off so the rest of us can survive.
That's a fact. And another word from an elder.
We put it in the frame of reference. Everyone, when they talk about racism and white supremacy, should always start by saying that the focus, the objective should be replace white supremacy with justice. Those are the 5 basic words.
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. And for my parting words to y'all, hashtag hands off our reparations.
You have no rights here. We're not under the empire.
So again, this has been a BeatZilla PDX official news break. please hit that like button. Share this out on your social media. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram, Twitter, Beatzilla, or X, shall I say, Beatzilla PDX. And, all the other stuff will be in the description. If you guys would like to join, you could join this channel, become a member. Hit that subscribe button, hit that word all. That way you'll be notified anytime this channel goes live or a video is uploaded or premieres like this one here. So, family, hope all has been well over the weekend. We are back in motion now this week. And started it off with a bang. Literally. So again, what's the difference? If you guys want to let me know in the comments, I'd greatly appreciate it. Replay gang, tap on in. Salute to everybody tuning in. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be upon each and every one of you. And with that, family, we are out of here. Stay black, stay vigilant, stay alive. Black first, black first, black first. Shalom, y'all.